70 of my daily video vlogs. It is March, let me look here, March the 28th, 2015. It is Saturday and it is 9:18 p.m. I just spent all day, got up at 5 in the morning, went all the way up to an auction, drove about 4 or 5 hours and got stuff and came back, and yes, here I am. So, I wanted to answer a couple questions. I have had some people ask some questions. Let me bring them up here. These are different questions that have been submitted, and so here we go. It says, there's a person here that says they have a really good PC that can run all kinds of games and play a few hundred frames per second, but for some reason things like opening browsers, booting Windows, and all that is really slow. I've gone through and disabled antivirus, uninstalled, and that doesn't make a difference, so it's not that. I've tried clearing all browser content, uninstalling and reinstalling, and nothing helps. I don't know what's going on. Please help. The day I first got my PC, it would boot any browser or program near instantly. Stuff was loading the millisecond I clicked it, which he goes on to say that it takes 10 or so seconds to open Firefox, even after clearing the profile, and Google Chrome takes around 5 seconds with no add-ons. Windows takes about 60 seconds, and sometimes it randomly starts up in 5 seconds. Now, I'm assuming he doesn't mean the operating system. I'm assuming he means Internet Explorer. If he was meaning the operating system in 5 seconds, that would be really quick. 60 seconds is not bad either. It says, at first I thought it was my hard disk drive. I know I should get an SSD, but I don't have the money. I agree with you there. But really, it shouldn't be running this slow regardless. I agree there too. SMART, which is the smart rating system for the hard drive, rated my hard drive as, quotes, warning. But I don't see much wrong with it. So, and that was submitted by Magnetar. Well, Magnetar, I think your computer is trying to tell you something. The smart hard drive detection system is warning you that your hard drive is about to fail. I'm not sure why it plays the game so well, because that would be one of the more taxing things that it could do. So I'm going to put a link, if you're watching this video, I'm going to put a link to the 3 things in the description. Microsoft Security Essentials, which is an antivirus, and it's free. I haven't found any better, other than a few that you'll pay like $60 for. It's right down the middle of the road. So it's a good cleaner that's free. Microsoft Security Essentials. Malwarebytes. I'm going to put a link for the free version. It may ask you if you want to do the trial for the pro version. Just uncheck it. Okay? It'll be there checked by default. Uncheck the trial for the pro version. What'll happen is the pro version allows you to do automatic scanning. The free version you have to scan manually. And what'll happen after 30 days, it'll say, well, the trial's up, and you'll think that the Malwarebytes won't work, but it still would work. And then third, last but not least, is CCleaner. What CCleaner does is allow you to look at your startup and disable things from startup. You can disable things from startup. You can clean the registries, which I recommend. It'll clean the registries, clean everything up, make everything run as fast as possible, and then allow you to look at some of the programs. And if you see Toolbar, I don't care who it's from, Google Toolbar, Bing Toolbar, any of the Yahoo Toolbar, remove them. You don't need them. Remove them. They just make extra time. But, now that's for everybody that doesn't have a hard drive problem. I would suggest you take the hard drive in. If you are having HDD smart hard drive warning, then it's time to replace the hard drive. Copy the data that's important to you and go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the SSD. You're going to have to buy a hard drive anyway. You're going to have the system reloaded. Now, if you want to check for sure, you could take it into a qualified technician. If you were in my area, I would say bring it to me. We would charge $10 just to run a complete scan on the hard drive and tell you how many bad sectors there are. But you don't need to do that. If your smart hard drive detector is telling you, warning, then that's probably the truth. I have never seen one of these hard disk drive detectors, these smart hard drives built into the motherboard, say that it was bad, and it wasn't bad. I've never seen a false positive. So, you can pretty much bet this problem is your hard drive. Okay, question number 2 was submitted by Hogswarts Needs Wi-Fi. And the question is, me and my roommate are buying internet. Okay, so you're buying internet access. It would be great if we could just buy the internet, wouldn't it? I wonder what that would be like. Better than fiber. Anyway, is 25 megabytes a second enough for 2 people? We both play online games quite a bit, but there won't really be more than 2 people using it at a time. Will 25 be enough to keep us both happy, as long as nobody's torrenting anything too big? Okay, so what you have to ask yourself is, what are you going to do? Online gaming does take a considerable amount of bandwidth, because you're sending packets back and forth. While the game's playing, it's redrawing all the characters. So if you play on a massive online game, you know, such as World of Warcraft, that's going to suck quite a bit of bandwidth down to keep up with it. But 25 megabytes should be enough for that. Your biggest thing that you have to look for is, are you going to download a lot of stuff? Are you a YouTube fanatic? Are you downloading movies? Are you doing streaming? Like, I watch a show on Sci-Fi. I don't want to fill up the DVR because my kids use it. I have Dish Network, and so they're always recording things, and we're always running out of space. But one of the shows I like to watch is on Sci-Fi, and because I have Dish Network, I can log into Sci-Fi, and they give me their premium content for free. And so it'd be just like if I DVR'd it. But then I can watch every episode of... I really like the movie 12 Monkeys, and they have a new show called 12 Monkeys. And I actually find the new show more interesting than the movie. But I'm streaming that. That means there's a lot of bandwidth at that point in time I'm watching, because I put it on the 1080p. So if you really like a lot of high resolution videos, like if you watch my video on the highest rating, my camera only does, or the highest setting, my camera only does 720p. So that would be the highest, and that doesn't take a lot of bandwidth, more than dial-up. But if you were to watch, YouTube is now experimenting with the 4K video. It looks really good. If you have a 4K monitor, it doesn't look any different to me if you have a regular monitor like mine. But you're talking about some massive amount of bandwidth to make the picture look so good. So you have to ask yourself, you know, am I going to be doing a lot of downloading, a lot of streaming, a lot of Pandora? If you're streaming music, that's data coming all the time. And an average song is 4 megabytes. So that's not, it's just how much are you doing? So what I would ask myself is, what am I doing? I'm playing a lot of games all at one time, and I'm listening to music, and I'm downloading a video. 25 may not be enough for 2 of you to not get aggravated at each other. You know, it's going to slow down. But it might be. I would see if the service provider would offer you 50 for $5, $10 more. Really, to them, there's not much more cost. So see if they'll give you a deal if you sign a 1-year contract, let's say, and you want 50 megabytes. It just depends on how much more they want. And if they want $50 more a month for 25 more megabytes, well, you know, maybe one of you can get a job in the day and one can get a job in the night, and you're using bandwidth at different times. That would be good. 25 megabytes would be great for just one person. I mean, in fact, here I'm running 10 megabytes, and I have at my office 10 megabytes a second, which now is not even considered broadband anymore. They just made a ruling from the FCC that broadband, I believe, is 20 megabytes a second. So, but still, 10 megabytes is still plenty high speed. But I have 4 kids and my wife, and all of them have, they all, except for my youngest one, he doesn't have internet in his room. But they'll have a iPod or a phone or something that will use the Wi-Fi to get email and whatever. I mean, there's a lot that goes into thinking about it. So what I would do is see if they'll offer you more for a little bit more, or try the 25 megabytes and see how it works for you, and see if anything is slow for you that's not related to your computer, but related to the bandwidth. And I'm almost 100% positive if you start off with 25 and you want to bump it up, they're not going to stop you. They're going to let you pay a little more. So maybe start with the 25 and see where it goes. Anyway, YouTube, I'm going to have these Ask a Tech in my my video vlogs every once in a while. Maybe on Saturdays I'll do Ask a Tech. And so I just have these 2 questions right now that came from Reddit. They were submitted to Reddit, that I will, I try to answer these questions for people. And so if you have a question that you can't figure out, if you put it in the comments of this video, I will answer you. But then I'll make a response so other people could hear. Because there's so much in tech that I have seen and I have experience in. I can't say that I can answer every question, but there's a lot of things that I know how it works, and give you the best advice that I would give myself. So anyway, if you'll leave a comment, I would appreciate it, and I'll try to answer your question on the next episode of Ask a Tech, which would be me. Anyway, YouTube, tomorrow, or today if you're watching it, is Sunday. Tomorrow will be Palm Sunday. It is the day we celebrate that Jesus came in on a donkey to celebrate the Passover the week before he was crucified. And maybe this would be a good day today, if it's Sunday that you're watching this, or next week, which is Easter. If you've not been to church in a while, pick a church that you would feel comfortable in and go, and maybe that'll make a change in your life for the good. And by making a change in your life, you can make a change in other people's lives. Anyway, regardless if you do or you don't, I hope that tomorrow is such a great day that it will be a day that you write down something that you'll remember. And I'll see you tomorrow, YouTube.